Jeff, the host of the Gridiron.
Fourth and goal to go with the 2. 34 seconds left to go in the ball game. This is the play right now. Takes the snap. Targeted goes in. Targeted all alone. And the quarterback keeps. Wow, what a call. Nobody touched him.
Interesting as it might seem, the Giants earned a good draft ranking since 2020. Now I'll tell you what, they've had a couple clunkers, drafting, doing some drafting some clunkers, right? But they've still earned a decent grade since drafting since 2020. Now you got to figure also, some of this is Shane, right, drafting, but also some of it is Gettleman, right? Where we at here? Giants earn a surprising rank among drafting teams since 2020. Gridiron Grading has some interesting draft grades league-wide, but none more so than where it has the Giants draft since 2020. Now, as I said, you would think with the Kadarius Toney, and we're drafting Evan Neal at number 7. It's just you would think that. Of course, we're not putting. Daniel Jones isn't in there, right? Because he's 2019, right? But you figured that we've had you look at like Shane's first draft class, in 2022. That's not a super duper draft class, right? But surprisingly, the Giants once again, I would figure since 2020, if the Giants were at like 16th, I would think that would be fantastic, but not according to here, right? Ask any NFL general manager what the heart of a team's roster building is, and they'll likely tell you that it's the draft, and that the better the draft, the better the roster likely turns out. Not so much so, however, for the Giants. According to Gridiron Grading, the Giants ranked 9th. Yeah. Among all 32 NFL teams since 2020 in drafting, yet they have a 33.9% win rate. How does that work out? The 33.9% winning percentage, ranks 29th out of 32 teams during that stretch, with only one postseason berth. Gridiron Grading says we have scored every draft pick from 2020 to 2025 using our model. Now, I'm not sure what that model is, but now we are reevaluating how well each team has set themselves up through the draft. Here is how we rank all 32 teams during this span. Now, once again, what their model is, I don't know, right? But let's say they have, of course, the Eagles are number 1. The Colts. You look at this. Some of this, it's some of it makes sense, and some of it you gotta just shake your head at. Like, really? Yeah. They got the Colts at number 2. Yeah. Okay. They got the Browns at number 3. Yeah. Steelers at number 4. The Chiefs at number 5. The Ravens at number 6. The Broncos at 7. The Bucks at 8, and the Giants at 9th, and then it would have the Commanders at number 10. So according to their model, right, 3 of the top 10 teams are in the NFC East. Of course, the Eagles, right, the Commanders, and the Giants. They got the Cowboys at number 29. I'll tell you what, I'm not going to ever feel bad for the Cowboys, but I'll tell you what, it seems like the older Jones gets, Jerry Jones, I'll tell you what, it seems like, I don't know. As I said, I just want to feel funny because it's laughable. It's watching one of those great teams just kind of just take a dumper. I love it. Absolutely love it. All right. So what gives? In that 20 to 25 time period, right, the Giants have had the 3rd most draft capital of all the teams evaluated by the Gridiron Grading. Perhaps one could point to the quarterback situation as having held the Giants. Well, that's true. Right? Well, the two things Well, I mean, you can kind of in a way, kind of look at like three things. One, you can say a lot of times they've just had freaking injuries, right? But the two big things: the offensive line and the quarterback play. Doesn't matter if you got Saquon Barkley in the backfield, doesn't even matter if Malik Neighbors out there. Doesn't matter if you got a great deep. Doesn't matter. Your offensive line and your quarterback. Ta-da! Right. Another reason could be the change in the coaching staff, which is true, which during that period saw the team go from Joe Judge to Brian Dable. Well, I mean, actually, you look at it, right? The year before in 2019, we had Shermer, right? So he was let go right after the 2019 season when the Giants stunk. Then we brought in Judge for 2 seasons, and then we brought in, it's like, right? Thereby creating a lack of continuity in player development, which is, I think, somewhere along the line is kind of like what Mr. Mara, you keep getting that turnover. What are we going to do? We go 2 seasons and we don't win a Super Bowl. Well, let's fire the coach or let's fire the GM. You bring another coach and GM in. We don't win a Super Bowl. Fire those 2 guys, bring another 2 guys in. Fire those 2 guys, there is no continuity there. Or player development. One thing we do need as far as player development is offensive line development. That's what we need too. The real culprit, as noted in a follow-up explanation of the Giants ranking, isn't in the quality of the quantity of picks, but rather the quality, particularly on day 3, as shown in their grade chart. The Giants are boosted here by spending the 3rd most draft capital during this period and us liking their first-round picks outside of Tony. Yeah. It's been really ugly once they get into day 3, though. We've liked their draft classes a lot more than what. Whoops. Oh, taking me another page here. What the results show. Quarterback issue, probably. Our grades being too high on some of these guys, also probably. But let's see. Can I get this? Can I get it? What is there? All right. They got Giants draft picks posted score. Yeah, I mean they seem to like Fedoni, the Fedoni pick, the Andrew Phillips pick, Tyler Nubin, Darius Alexander. They like John Michael Schmitz, Tay Banks, Scattaboo. They rank him pretty high, So some of the guys they didn't seem to like too much. Corey Black, once again, a very late round pick, so they don't have him graded that high. Shane Lemieux, I think he was a 5th round pick. DJ Davidson was not graded very high. Let's see here. Gary Brightwell, they didn't grade him high at all. Tay Crowder, Chris Williamson, Cam Brown, Jordan Riley, Trey Hawkins, and TJ Brunson. Those guys all graded out very bad. Very, very bad. So, but I mean, the Giants, not too bad. Not too bad at all. Let me see here. Keep going here. What do we got here? Of the Giants draft picks in that span, 26 graded out with scores below 70. Of their day 3 picks, only 4, cornerback Drew Phillips, Theo Johnson, Darian Beavers, no longer with the team, unfortunately, because of his injury, right? And Wan'Dale Robinson received grades of at least a 70. To be fair to Giants, the last 2 drafts by general manager Joe Schoen have probably been among the best. Yes, they have. Whereas his first one seemed hastily assembled, which it was. He came in, he didn't know his scout in the play, he didn't know anybody. Hey, you doing? Who are you? Hey, you scout? Oh, I'm Josh. I'm the general manager. Nice to meet you. You know what I mean? So, but it does seem that each draft that's gone by, he's got a little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better. And I really think his last 2 drafts, he's done a very good job. Very good. Now, let's not forget, because, of course, sucking. Gonna have some benefits to it. We got Malik Neighbors and we got Abdul Carter. I mean, come on now. Come on, man. A freaking stud on offense and a freaking stud on defense. Oh, man. Should be a good defense this year. Now hopefully we'll get to the point where the defense, right? We're gonna have the defense hopefully for these same guys, hopefully another couple of years, right? And now you can just keep adding to it. It's like, just add good depth to it, right? These next couple of seasons when we hopefully have these same guys together and just keep adding, like in free agency or in the draft, just add some good quality depth. Then we can start being somebody like the Eagles, right? Where the Eagles got the good starting unit, and then they basically because they got like almost no weaknesses anywhere. They just go into the draft round one. Who's the best player available? This guy. Just take him, just throw him on the team. Round two. Who's the best player? We don't need a safety. We don't need a corner. We don't need a punt. Who's the best player available? That guy. Boom. He's an Eagle. Right? Every round, every pick, who's the best player? Because you can say, we just take the best player. No, it's best player and need. A lot of these teams, whatever, 75, 85, whatever percent of the pick are, because the team sucks, right? If you got, whatever, Jaden Daniels, right, as your quarterback, right, for the Commanders, good for them. Commanders first round, guess what? The best player available could be a quarterback, but guess what? They ain't taking a quarterback, right? They're taking need. The Eagles don't. The Eagles like, who's the best player? Well, take him, right? You're an Eagle, right? They can have whatever, 2 or 3 good linebackers. Take another one. Now we got another one, right? So that's what you want to get to. You want to get to that point. Not easy, but that's the point you want to get to, right? And the Giants with their defense, just start getting to that point where you just add, maybe next year you add another couple good studs, whether they're starters or good quality backups. That's what you want. That's really what you want. All right, where are we at here? Back to this here. But isn't it interesting that while this was happening and the coaching staff was trying to come together as a cohesive unit, the Giants found their best success in those 6 years with their only postseason berth coming in 2022. So what can we make of that? Again, is the quarterback situation holding the team back? The injury bug. Yep, the injury bug that has caused key players such as Andrew Thomas and Dexter Lawrence to miss large chunks of last season, right? Whatever has held the Giants back, the leadership duo of Shane and Dable must figure it out in the year ahead, lest another change be made by ownership. Well, we'll have to wait and see. That's one thing that you don't really know. Has Dart given them another year? I can't see. I'd have a hard time seeing Shane being like. Because they're their own entities. Dable and Shane. Mr. Mara's got to sit down at the end of the season. Whatever we wind up, whatever. If we wind up with 3 wins again, right? Mr. Mara's got did Shane give Dable enough quality players, right, for the season to win more than 3 games? If the answer is yes, well, then maybe Dable's gone and we keep Shane, right? If we win 3, 4, 5 games or whatever, and it's like Mr. Mara sits down, well, we suck again. Did Shane give Dable enough quality players to win more than 3, 4, 5 games? If the answer is no, well, then maybe we keep Dable and we get rid of Shane, right? So they're not so much tied together anymore, right? But I think Shane is. I'm not saying we're a Super Bowl team. I'm certainly don't want to say that. I don't want to be drinking no Kool-Aid, right? But I think Shane is doing a decent job of supplying. I don't care if we go 0-17. We're not a 3-win team. All right? There's enough talent here, even at the tough schedule that we got. There's enough talent here to win more than 3 games. So I think Shane and company, scouting department, Brandon Brown and company and all that, I think they're doing a very good job as far as bringing in talent. as I said, it was so much on my video. When the heck was it? Not last time. I think it was a couple times ago when I went live. The Giants have set themselves up, right, to have quite possibly a very good spending spree in 2 years. Not so much next year, in 2 years. So, like, if Winston's gone, right, and if obviously Wilson's gone, if Dart is the man, right, we're going to have 3 years, right, with Dart on the cheap, right? It'll be his third year, if he's the man. Well, his third year, his fourth year, and his fifth year option, where the Giants can spend some money, where they can bring in a couple of real good studs. I mean, the Giants, I looked at, it was Spot Track, I believe it was, in 2 years. They have like 32 guys, I think it is signed. Yeah, so we still need a bunch of guys, but they have like 100 at what they're projecting the salary cap to be. They have like $160 million to spend. Right? That's a lot of money. You can bring in a couple real good studs. No question. So we will have to wait and see. But, I think they're doing a very, very good job.